Hello guys, my name is Jaspreet and today in this video we're gonna learn certain very important concept that you should know as a starting learner of a C++. So the concepts we're gonna learn in this video is C++ statements, functions, main function and syntax error. And also we will make our first C++ program, that is a program of hello world. So without further ado, let's start with the video. So first of all, the question arises, what is a statement in C++? So first of all, what is a statement in normal English language? A statement means a definite or a clear expression of something. So in a statement, we are clearly define certain things or certain actions. So the same thing applies in computer language also. So how basically your computer works, it basically works on the instruction. So the instruction it get from this particular process or particular device or something. So it executes instruction and produce a certain output for that. So the sequence of instructions tell the computer what to do, and the combination of all the instruction made a particular program to perform a specific task in a computer. So statement is a type of instruction that causes a program to perform some actions. So basically statement is also a instruction that causes a program to perform some action, because ultimately the instruction is causing the computer to perform a specific task. So C++ statement ends with a semicolon. So if you are defining a certain statement, let's say to perform a specific addition of two numbers and storing it in a third number, so that statement ends with a semicolon. So it's a rule because it's a syntax of C++ to end every statement with a semicolon. So moving further, there are many types of statements in C++. There is a declaration statement, jump statement, expression statement, compound statement, selection statement, that is sometimes called conditional statements, or iterative statements, that are loops, and try blocks. So declaration statements are the statements in which we are declaring something, let's say a data variable of certain data type. In a jump statement, we are jumping from one statement, let's say, to the third statement. The perfect example of the jump statement is basically switch case and also the go to statements in C++ that we're gonna cover in the future lessons. Expression statement is also a statement in which we are performing a specific task, let's say addition of two variables and then storing it to the third variable. The compound statement is basically the combination of statement, let's say in a block, or when the particular statement is combined to perform a specific task, then it's called a compound statement. Let's say in an example of if we define a particular block which is a combination of certain statement and that combination perform a specific task. So selection statement or conditional statements are the if-else statement which we have in our program to conditionally run any statement. So iteration statements are the loops. We have three types of loop in our C++, that is for, while and do while. We're gonna cover this in future lessons. And there is also a try block that is used in the exception handling in C++ that also we're gonna cover in this series. So before moving towards the first program of your C++, you must know about functions and main function. So basically what is function? A function in a C++ is a group of statements. If the statements or the group of statement is performing a specific task, let's say they are finding a max number in a particular series of numbers, so you can name it with the function name. In every C++ program, a special function named main must be present. The execution of program starts with the first statement inside the function main and then continues sequentially. So in every C++ program, there is a main function that is an entry point of any program. So if you are building a program, so there must be an entry point so that the computer get to know from where to start the process. So basically main is a function which is the first function that is invoked after running a specific program. So when we execute a program, the first statement inside the main function is the first statement that is executed, because the compiler go directly into the main function and start from the first statement mentioned in the main function. So you can see the syntax of a normal function. The first you have to write the return type and then the function name, and then in the round brackets there is an argument list, which are the arguments you have to use in a particular function, so you can pass it, and we will also discuss this in detail in the further lessons. And inside the curly braces there is a function body that contains the specific task that you have to perform. So now we're gonna cover the first program of our C++ language, that is a hello world program. So for creating our first C++ program, let me create a file, that is first.cpp. So most of the C++ files will contain the .cpp extension, and we will talk about extensions in the further videos also, because your C++ file can contain an extension of .h also. So the first step, you have to include a header file, which I'm gonna include, that is iostream. So iostream is a header file which defines the certain functions of C++, that is like cout, say in, which is used to input and output certain data. So after adding the header file, first thing you have to create is the main function. And for creating the main function, the first thing you have to mention the return type. I'm mentioning it int because the return type is basically the type of data which the function will going to return. So the main function return basically value of 0. It means the program has executed fine, there is no error. So after the return type, you have to type main, and after that the argument list, we gonna leave it empty because I don't want to pass any argument list for now. And in the curly braces, we will define the body of the function. So basically this is a statement to output a certain string which said hello world. So in C++, cout is basically the character out. It basically outputs the string in the terminal or the output window, you can say. And std is a namespace. For a time being, you can like just think it's as a syntax, but in the later videos when we will cover what are the namespaces and what they do, then you will be have much more understanding of this. And this is the scope resolution operator that you have to define after the namespace, because in the namespace there is a cout function defined. So for using the cout, you have to mention that. And at the end of this statement there is a semicolon, so you have to mention it because we have discussed it already that every statement ends with a semicolon. And after that we gonna return 0. Basically return is a keyword which defines what is a value that the function is going to return, and in this situation we are returning a value of 0. That means the function has run properly. And for running, you have to just pass g++ first or cpp and -o, and let's say first. Okay, so this is a command that is used in Linux to run a C++ program. And if you want to know more about how to compile a program in Linux and in Windows, that then please comment down, we can also make a video for that. And here there is no error, so it has compiled properly. And for running, we have to write first, and there is an output of hello world. And if you are working on some code blocks or something like that, then you can simply click on run, and it will simply shows the output of hello world. So now moving on, there is one more concept that I would like to mention here, that is syntax error. There are certain rules that are defined to write a particular program in a C++, so that are known as the syntax of C++ basically. So if you make any mistake in those rules or you don't follow any rule, then pops up an error which is in syntax error. So let's see an example of syntax error. So here in our program there is an one statement mentioned sender cout hello world, and we have studied that the every statement ends with a semicolon, and that is a rule. So what will happen if I will remove this semicolon from here and I will try to compile this. So after compiling this, it shows an error that you can see here in the line 5th at the character 26, that an expected semicolon before return. So basically it shows in the sixth line there is a return. So basically before the next statement, because it also an statement, every statement ends with a semicolon. If you are not ending a statement, there is no need of semicolon, but if you need to end some statement, the semicolon must be present. So it shows very clearly what's the error, and if we will fix it, then it runs fine. So we have covered what is C++ statement, C++ functions, what is main function, what are syntax error, and how to build your first C++ program. So in the next video, we will discuss some more important concepts and we will move further in the series to learn C++ and you will have more confidence in C++. So thank you for watching this video, and if you like the video then please hit a like button and subscribe so that you will not miss the further tutorials.